Time management tips. I hope you and your loved ones are splendid, healthy, strong, and happy. There is time in case of all our heartaches. In this video, I will focus on changing your perception of time so you feel more time rich. I will also highlight some of the adverse effects of being time poor. We have a lot to cover, and I know you're busy and don't have enough time, so let's jump in and start with a quote. If you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Wayne Dyer. Before moving any further, I want to clarify the concept of time poor and time rich from my perspective. From my perspective, I consider time poor as when I have less than 2 hours of discretionary time, and time rich, I have more than 4 hours of discretionary time. Time has a direct relation to happiness. Discretionary time allows me to do things that give me a sense of well being. I feel happy when I have more than 4 hours of discretionary time. When I have less discretionary time, I am unhappy and unsatisfied with life. The fundamental reason for success and happiness is not money, but time well spent. Paying greater attention to how you invest your time predicts a higher level of satisfaction. I will share my thoughts on time management, which is very subjective. My approach is practical as well as a bit philosophical. I hope you will be able to connect the dots. One thing is for sure, you will never find enough time unless you learn to make time. The interplay between time, money, and happiness has always intrigued me, and experience has taught me that time is the most precious resource and never comes back. So guard against your time. No one can give you extra minutes in a day. Time is scarce, and everyone has the same balance before the start and end of the day. We live in a culture where busyness means being productive. But this is far from true. We are constantly suffering from a hectic pace of life with too little time for ourselves. We don't have enough time to live our lives to be healthy and connect with our loved ones and the communities. So the real issue is we don't have time for the things that make us time rich. If you care about these topics, I would appreciate your support of my work. Your support motivates me to create more content. Please like and subscribe, and even better, share it with someone you care. When you don't have enough time, what is the first thing you remove from your to-do list? Please pause the video and think about it. Here are some things automatically removed from my list when I don't have enough time. I don't have time to exercise. I don't have time to get a good night's sleep. I don't have time to cook a healthy meal. I don't have time to buy fresh fruits and vegetables. I don't have time to get groceries. I don't have time to go for my medical checkups. I don't have time to read. I don't have time to write. I don't have time to maintain my close relationships. I don't have time to meditate. And the list goes on and on. You get the point. Can you appreciate the irony of the circumstances? The list highlights all the things beneficial and good for me and eventually will give me contentment. So, because of lack of time, I cannot take care of myself. Wow. I neglect my welfare. Without enough time, I do less and it limits the quality of my life. How long will I last when I do not do the things that suit me mentally and physically? It's only a matter of time, pun intended, before I deal with emergencies. I'm sure at some level you can feel my pain. Now that you understand my difficulty, let me narrate the consequences of conflicting demands and limited choices, in other words, being time poor. Number one, I feel less healthy. Regular physical activity makes you happier and boosts your self-esteem. Walking is the new antidepressant pill, better than Zoloft, without any side effects. By skipping my exercise, I become physically less healthy. Since I'm stressed for time, I exercise less, directly impacting my physical and emotional well being. I'm too busy not to eat healthy or get a good night's sleep. Strong morning coffee with sugar, which I call as borrowed energy, would perk me up, which is far easier than going for a walk. Number two, I feel less compassionate. There is enough research to show you are less inclined to help others if you are in a rush. Since I'm always thinking about my own priorities, I become less kind to the needs of others. I am unwilling to give my time to others. I'm less inclined to call my friends. I'm too busy and not mentally present when spending time with my son. Moreover, I have a solid justification for my inconsiderate behavior, another negative consequence of being time poor. Number three, I feel less confident. Time scarcity leads to lack of self confidence, and you don't even realize it. I have to do more with less, and I'm unsure of myself and lose confidence. I end up living a constricted life. Lack of self confidence leads to lack of motivation. There are two types of motivation, positive and negative motivation. The positive motivation encourages me to take risks and look for opportunities. Negative motivation encourages me to prevent something from happening. So when I am in the time scarce mode, I go in the prevention mode rather than exploration. I don't play to win, but I play not to lose. If my aim is not to lose, imagine how can I win? Isn't it very constricted way of life? Here is another hypothetical example to convince you further. If you have to buy a gift for someone very dear to you and you have only 1 hour, I guarantee you will purchase something good enough and compromise on your standards. Imagine if you had all the time in the world, you would certainly buy something so thoughtful that it would elevate the entire experience and strengthen your relationship. Sometimes I have resigned to fate and decided I can't do things that are healthy. What's the solution? I can't quit my job. I have to pay bills, I have to pay mortgage, school fee. How do I get more time? There is light at the end of the tunnel, and luckily it's not from an oncoming train. I have to change the way I look at time and money. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. I do a few things differently to get extra time and increase my perception of time. Rather than making a to-do list, I make a stop doing list, which I revise regularly. I unsubscribed from newsletters that distracted me and took precious minutes from my day. I stopped watching the news, which took up so much time and filled me with negative emotions. My morning routine is not to jump out of bed and rush to work. I started sleeping 30 minutes early, giving me 30 minutes extra to do some light exercise. I also meditate for 10 minutes in the morning. Since I accomplish something early in the morning, I perceive I have more time now than before. If you are in a similar boat, I suggest you do the exact first thing in the morning, even for 5 or 10 minutes. It's more important to be consistent. Include some spiritual activity in your routine. For me, meditation works best and has done wonders. I work consciously to help others without expecting anything in return. I go out of my way to support my peers, send an appreciation email to one of my contacts, or share something I read that could benefit others in my circle. Acts of kindness by helping others make me feel less time poor. It also makes me and others feel good. I'm sure you must have thought about these activities before, but maybe you never realized the negative consequences and how these activities affect your perception of time. You probably never looked at time management from this perspective. I sincerely hope this video helps you to look at how you can boost your time affluence and feel more prosperous. It is not cutting your time, but how you spend it meaningfully increases your perception of time. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. Before you go, I predict you will not regret it. I wish you a life full of love, laughter, and learning. More soon. For now, thank you, bless you, have a great day with love and respect. Bye.